Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're here in Cameroon. The Black Stars have landed. 25 players arrived at the Yaoundé airport yesterday as the Black Stars look to kickstart their campaign. Today is the kickoff for the African Cup of Nations. The host Cameroon will be taking on Burkina Faso at the Olembe Stadium. But we are here based in Yaoundé near the Amadou Ahidjo Stadium where the Black Stars will be pitching camp. The press conference will be had soon. We will be giving you updates on that front. KAMALDEEN Sulemana, who was a doubt for the Black Stars, has been cleared to join the team and he has now arrived. The Black Stars delayed their entry into Cameroon by a day, probably waiting for the arrival of the young Ghanaian winger KAMALDEEN Sulemana. We'll look at all that today, and dates for the Afcon 2023 draw as well as the World Cup draw. We'll also be looking at the new rules that have been introduced in terms of COVID ravages a team and depletes their number. There is a plan for that CAF has announced. We'll look at all that today. As usual, subscribe if you have not. Click on the notification bell to get more updates. So I'd like to thank one of you guys, a subscriber here on this channel called Bright. He was the one that linked me to a friend of his here in Cameroon that has been able to make it possible for me to be here. Thank you, Bright, for that support and for that help. I really appreciate you guys, and I thank you guys all for supporting me throughout this journey here, making it to my very first African Cup of Nations. Hopefully I can learn a lot and bring you the best from the behind the scenes of the African Cup of Nations as best as I can, as best as I have always been doing for all this while. The Black Stars have landed in Yaoundé. They will take on Morocco tomorrow, 10th of January 2022, and they'll be looking to get off to the best possible start. After that disappointing loss to Algeria, another North African side, many have lost hope, but we did not have many of our first choice players in there. The goalkeeper was not the one that we usually use, and there is more room for improvement. A lot of work to be done, no doubt about that. And Coach Milovan Rajabak will be well aware of that. The players arrived yesterday evening and they will be looking to make Ghana proud. They were 25 in number. KAMALDEEN Sulemana, who had been in contact with a teammate that had tested COVID positive, was quarantined for a couple of weeks before joining the camp, and now he has been cleared to join the camp. He was spotted with the team at the airport and they are all in camp now, preparing earnestly for that game tomorrow. As I said, the presser will be later on today. We'll be bringing you updates on that front. Speaking about COVID ravaging camps, Burkina Faso versus Cameroon, which is set to kick off later today. Local time will be 5 p.m. and GMT will be 4 p.m. GMT. There have been some positive cases for Burkina Faso and they are calling foul play on this one. Now CAF recently in their latest meeting have established that should a team be depleted by COVID-19, this is what will happen to them. They will have a possibility of making 5 substitutions. Well, 5 substitutions have been introduced in this African Cup of Nations for the very first time. Now, in case of COVID-19 outbreak, a team should have a minimum of 11 players available who have tested negative, meaning that if you do not have at least 11 players available that can play the game, you might forfeit it and lose 2-0. And now, if none of the players is a goalkeeper, an outfield player can assume the role, otherwise it will be a 2-0 loss. So that is the contingency plan brought in there by CAF. COVID will not stop the Afcon from going on. We all have to be careful in our dealings during the African Cup of Nations. It was a buzzing atmosphere last night when I arrived. Many of the fans are excited to see their country in action here in Cameroon, and you could feel the Afcon atmosphere. And not easy traveling in and around Africa. It's quite a long and hectic journey, but we are here and we'll see what happens on the opening day, whether the hosts will go away with all 3 points. Well, Samuel Eto'o will be hoping that they can host and win. My next story has to do with the Afcon 2023, which is also in perspective now. Just a year away, Cote d'Ivoire will be the next host for the African Cup of Nations, and the draw for the preliminary stages will be made on the 21st of January 2022, right after the final group game of the African Cup of Nations. The draw will be between the lower ranked teams, and the winner of the knockout phases of that game will join the top ranked teams later on in the year for the African Cup of Nations Qualifiers 2023. And the winner, top two, usually makes it to the African Cup of Nations itself in Cote d'Ivoire next year. The World Cup qualifiers themselves, the playoff places. 10 teams have gone through, and according to the latest FIFA rankings, they will be placed in 2 different pots, and then the draw will be held. And in March, we will play those qualifiers. Ghana will be in pot 2 based on the current rankings, and we hope to have a favorable, well, though with no favorable draw, you have to know if you want to be at the World Cup, you have to beat the best, and we'll have to do that. Unfortunately, Africa still has 5 slots, and we are not in 2026 yet, where we'll have 9 slots. So those are the 2 updates there, the AFCON 2023 draw as well as the 2022 World Cup qualifier playoff places draw will be held right after the group stages. So that is it there on the front of the Ghana Black Stars arrival. KAMALDEEN Sulemana making it back into camp. He has joined the team. We have bolstered. Coach Milo has a full complement of his squad now. Bar Kudus and Philemon Bafo. We hope that they can join the team later on here in Yaoundé tomorrow. Let me know your predictions in the comments box for today's opener, Cameroon versus Burkina Faso, and the Black Stars tomorrow versus Morocco. An improved performance from the one we saw against Algeria definitely will be warranted. I'll see you guys in the next one. Pressa coming up. Enjoy your day.